You know, Ashley, what I think is a great idea for you and I as two working creatives.
What's that, Joel?
Why don't we give away some ideas to some giant media corporations, especially in a moment when goddamn Warner Brothers has been purchased by goddamn Netflix.
Netflix. Wow. I wonder how the blockbuster guy that turned down Netflix feels on a day like that.
It's got to be a blue day for him, right? I mean, no pun intended, but also pun fully intended.
He probably feels a little poorer than he.
The other thing that occurs to me, though, as far as that sort of thing goes, is like, I don't know about you, Ashley, but I personally always feel like there's too much debt in my life. And boy, like, how do I get student debt and car debt and a mortgage and et cetera, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Netflix has like $17 billion of debt, and they bought a company for $72 billion. I don't understand how that works, Ash.
I don't understand. Those credit lines don't really mesh.
Nobody offered me. I mean, I do get a lot of phone calls currently for like, hey, you're approved for a $70,000 debt consolidation loan, but I think that's spam. I don't think that's real.
I don't think that's real.
Maybe I should take one of them.
I haven't given them my tax ID number. They don't know. They don't know me. They don't know what I'm doing over here.
I genuinely, have you read much about this deal, and do you have any thoughts about the continued consolidation of our media landscape?
It's just, it's not how it's supposed to be. That's all I know. It's not how it's supposed to be. And oh well, here we are again. There's going to be two companies running everything.
I will say, having just recently finished that 100 Years of Warner Brothers documentary, I think I mentioned this previously on the show.
Yeah.
I am just reminded, like, this has already happened like 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, AOL bought Warner Brothers, and we were all like, wow, what a thing. Time bought Warner Brothers before that, by the way.
Yep.
And first of all, Time? Who the fuck is Time? Time Magazine? How could they possibly be a company that could buy a company as large as Warner Brothers? Anyway, in 20 years, we may feel that way about Netflix. Warner Brothers has already killed Time and AOL and sort of tried to kill AT&T. I
mean, let's see what happens, kids. Maybe the blockbuster guy ends up feeling really good about his choices after all this is said and done.
Right? I know. It's such a strange world. Welcome to the Articulate Coven, the original, unofficial fan podcast and community for Anne Rice's Immortal Universe, the Vampire Chronicles, Lives of the Mayfair Witches, and the Immortal Universe TV series from AMC and AMC+. The Articulate Coven is Ashley and Joel, but it's supported by listeners just like you. Find out more at articulatecoven.com/join. We are the Articulate Coven, the original unofficial fan podcast and community for Anne Rice's Immortal Universe, the Lives of the Mayfair Witches, the Vampire Chronicles. I don't know why I always put the Lives of the Mayfair Witches first, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, we do the books, we do the movies. Yeah, I guess. We do the TV shows, especially from AMC and AMC+. We are your hosts. I am Joel.
I'm Ashley.
And we are the Articulate Coven. And we are doing some free labor today. I probably both going to lose our WGA benefits after this one, Ash. I think it's against the rules. But I thought it would be a cool idea. And genuinely, AMC, we're not hard to find. You can reach out.
No.
Some of these sound good to you.
Yeah.
But here you are. You've begun to build a true universe. This isn't just a couple of shows. You've got a third show that's been a success now. Talamasca, a big hit on Netflix overseas,
Huge.
It seems like, especially.
It's in the top 5, and was fast in the top 5.
It's very bingeable. First of all, this was going to be a show that would do well on Netflix, and it'll do well on AMC Plus too, now that it's all available. But it's also light. It's got connections to the broader universe, but it's a very different feel than the other two series at all. And I'm excited for what that means about what's next. So we thought we'd take our swing at it tonight. We're pitching the next Immortal Universe series. Mark Johnson's always talking about, every 2 or 3 months, I just call him up and say, you ready for the next one?
Yep.
So here we go. We're going to pitch the next one.
We've got some ideas.
If you don't mind, ma'am, I think I will go first since
I
this
would
was my
love
silly
that.
idea. Okay,
I would
good.
love that. It'll
So
give
first
me
of all,
guidance for my notes over here. It'll be good.
you and I sort of, I think we had to draw straws or roll dice about who was going to talk about the ancient vampires, because I think that in our heart of hearts, that's what we both most want. However, I was very willing to let you talk about the elders because I had a really good idea that is maybe cheating, because we know this has already been in the works a little bit.
Right.
And Mark Johnson has mentioned it as something that is coming. But I'm going to talk about Night Island. And I'll say this. In my conception, Night Island has a colon, and it is either Night Island : the Vampire Armand, or the Vampire Armand : Night Island. I'm not sure which way you go with it. I think maybe you go the Vampire Armand : Night Island. But regardless, I'd start this show with exactly what we've already been pitched. So we originally had been told we were going to get a mini series or maybe even like webisodes that were going to be about a group of thieves breaking in and trying to steal art, this priceless art from Night Island. Unbeknownst to them, home of some powerful vampires.
Oh, it's full of vampires.
Okay. So Night Island is absolutely a thing in the books. This comes about in the novels. It doesn't really come until after the main part of the storyline for Queen of the Damned.
Right.
But I will make the argument in the universe of the TV series, it would make perfect sense for Armand to have begun his preparations for when the Louis experiment, 70 years though it may have been, falls apart. While yes, Louis was building an empire, financially speaking, and he owns this penthouse and et cetera, why is it that Louis owns all those things? I think it's because Armand's investments were elsewhere and he wasn't talking to Louis about those investments.
Weird that this dysfunctional couple doesn't have honest communication about their money.
Yeah, the one who can fly puts the library all up where the other one can't get it, and we're amazed.
Such a dick move.
That there's not good communication. Okay, so here's my thing though. That idea of the group of thieves, this professional, like a Ocean's 11 style or like a SEAL Team 6 style break-in, bunch of former Black Ops guys and gals coming in and trying to steal artwork. I love this idea. That is literally just the first episode though, because about halfway through, the leader of the team is going to get just insanely torn asunder and demolished and killed and eaten by the titular vampire Armand, at which point the rest of this first episode is going to turn into a slasher film, basically, where he gives them the rules. Hey, if you make it to the water before sunrise, then you'll live. My underlings have been told to take you off the island. Everything will be fine.
It's like the most dangerous game.
But you're not going to make it to the water, right? Yeah, I'm going to find you all. Okay, here's the other kicker on that. I want someone fairly famous to be the leader of the team that dies first. Sort of a shocking Drew Barrymore in Scream style death. My thinking is John Hamm. John Hamm just did a series on Apple TV. I haven't watched it. Kelly did. It's called like Your Friends and Neighbors or something like that. He's a wealthy guy who hits the skids for whatever reason, and his way around it to maintain his lifestyle is that he begins to rob his neighbors, his very wealthy neighbors. And so my thought is, you know, he's wisecracking, he's good looking, he's charismatic. There'll be a lot of press leading up to this series where John Hamm's centered, right? And then you just literally have Armand rip him in half at the beginning of the 15, 20 minutes into the show. And then all of the rest of your thieves are also murdered by the end of episode 1. But the twist comes when all of that is wrapped up at the end of the episode. Armand eats the last one in some sort of dramatic fashion or whatever, right? And then he returns to his penthouse but he's not alone in his penthouse. Daniel is there and has been waiting for him. And the episode ends with either a kiss or an embrace or the obvious understanding that these two are together for whatever. Like when Armand walks in, Daniel is shit talking, obviously, as he would be.
Yeah.
But then, the end twist for episode 1 is, holy shit, these two are together actually
They
now.
fuck. These two fuck.
Exactly. Okay. So the rest of season 1, you get flashbacks to Devil's Minion, right? We could do the full Devil's Minion storyline from the 70s or the 80s if we wanted to. Yes, Armand had this continuing dalliance with Daniel that Louis didn't know about, and that Daniel barely remembered or doesn't remember until now as it's starting to unlock for him. But then the B storyline is not flashbacks to them. And also you could get glimpses of Marius here too, right? You could see the Théâtre de Vampire. You could see the Coven where Lestat, you could see Armand's version of all those things that we've already seen, right? Which gives us, you could have cameos of Lestat there and Louis, obviously. Louis would have to visit Night Island at some point. He has some sort of business to do with Armand. And it's like, very standoffish for both him and Daniel and him and Armand while he's there. It's like the uncomfortable ex-boyfriend visit. But the B storyline the whole time, I think you have, and at first I was like, is it a journalist? Is it like a Ben Urich chasing the Hulk sort of thing? But I remember Daniel is the journalist already. We don't need a journalist. What it is it's a high-level employee. Because the thing that occurs to me is your B storyline for this show and the general tone for this show overall, it's White Lotus in the Immortal Universe.
Oh, I love that.
So Night Island is this perfect, idyllic setting. And I think probably, at least in season 1, there aren't that many vampires. It's basically just Armand and Daniel and a couple of guests, like maybe Louis shows up at some point. I think maybe even the cameos for Lestat are all in flashbacks and or you're seeing music videos maybe or something. But I think season 1 is all in preparation for the Queen of the Damned storyline and in lead up to that. And this other character that I'm imagining in the B storyline, and the White Lotus season 1 in particular is like a great example of this in my mind. Do you remember the woman who she was like the concierge or something? She was like an assistant that worked with the guests, and she's the one that ends up being like adopted by the one woman, just decides this is going to be my best friend, and she's involved in my whole life.
That character is in the most recent season too.
I thought she came back. Okay. So that character is my template for this. I want like a high-level manager, not an executive, but someone who is higher up in the staff and who, after the massive of thief murdering that happens in episode 1, begins to suspect something is askew with her boss and the owners of this corporation / paradise that she works at. And so across season 1, I want her trying to put the pieces together. And maybe she's even spurred on or helped by a Talamasca agent.
Oh, that could be great.
And it could be Raglan James, right? It could be somebody new if they wanted to. It could be this is an opportunity to bring in a David Talbot maybe, or to bring back Rashid if you wanted to or something. But anyway,
like a connection to the Talamasca there.
Yes. I think the Talamasca is sort of like running her a little bit as an asset, or attempting to use her as an asset because she has already begun to stumble onto this situation. Okay. So your main characters are Armand, Daniel, and this employee who is trying to put everything together. That's your trio who leads this thing. And genuinely, like, other than the fantabulous setting that I would hope you would put this in, this is not a very large cast. Like, you want a lot of extras, right? But it's really, you spend a lot of time with those 3 people. My guess, though, too, is here's some supporting folks. I want that Talamasca point person. Maybe they have a boss that we interface with a couple of times back at the mother house, and that could be Houseman. It could be a David Talbot type figure. It could be Helen, maybe even, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think you got 2 Talamasca agents that you basically deal with throughout the course of this season 1. And also, this storyline that I'm lining out could totally run in 6 episodes too. You
Yeah.
could make this like a fairly cheap experiment like Talamasca season 1, and then if it works, you could reinvest in it in season 2.
Mhm.
Okay. I want a sidekick though for this employee, this head employee
Oh,
or
yeah,
this
they
lead
definitely need a
employee.
sidekick.
And again, like if we want to template this, it's Ant-Man's buddy from the movies, the fast-talking
Oh my
buddy who
god, I
recaps
love
everything,
him.
right?
Yes, he's the
Yes.
best.
A little bit of a bumbler,
Some comic
definitely
relief.
comic relief.
Yeah.
Yes. And also like someone who we can build tension with 2 or 3 times when he's in the room with Armand is like, is Armand going to suffer this or is he
Mhm.
going to rip his head off? And like,
Right,
we
right,
really
right.
like him. Please don't kill him, Armand. Okay. Definitely Lestat music videos playing in like the mall section, right? For sure. And we can get quips from Armand and or Louis
Yes,
when that's in the
commentary.
background.
Yep, absolutely.
This blonde bastard just follows me around now, you know?
Mm. He's everywhere.
Marius in flashbacks. We could get Santiago in flashbacks if we
Mhm.
wanted to. Here's a place if you wanted to. You could give us an answer to who Santiago's maker was and why Armand so much wanted to bury him. Like I said, you could give Armand's version of Lestat's Crash of the Coven and the theater and the
Mhm.
trial and all those things. But my big thing though is you could set this up in a way that if this is successful, you could double down on it in season 2 and maintain the island paradise as your front story, but you could do a full-on adaptation of the Vampire Armand. You could do
Mhm.
Blood and Gold through this story, even if you wanted to eventually. All effectively where Armand is talking to Daniel and telling him, you know, this story or his story, or literally just Armand and Marius speaking to each other and talking through how they both understood all these events. You know,
Mhm.
could happen in the modern timeline. Anyway, I love this idea the more that I think about it. And
Yeah, it sounds really fun.
I think like with Talamasca, how that felt like a spy show. This feels like a vacation show mostly, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But think about every
Like a
season of White Lotus had some drama and some danger.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sex appeal, for sure,
Mhm.
right?
Sex
And
appeal.
everyone.
Drugs.
Yes, all of those things could happen in Night Island and then some. And all of those things could feel different and yet connected to our main series without issue, I think. Anyway, I got way down and excited about that. I mean, okay, so 2, when you move to season 2 and you're doing like full on Vampire Armand, your B story could change drastically too and be less silly if you wanted to, because now because this is probably season 2 of this would be after the Queen of the Damned storyline,
Right.
I would assume. So you're talking about now maybe there's a bunch of vampires that live on Night Island and they're all trying to share space maybe in this
Yeah.
new world.
And then it's like the real world Night Island.
I mean, you could literally do that if you wanted to, like when vampires stop being polite and start being real.
Being real.
All right. So that's my pitch, Mark. If you're interested, if you're stuck on where to go with this.
If you don't know what's next, Mark, here's a really great idea to kick off Night Island. I love a good bait and switch where like somebody you think is going to be a really important part of a show gets just killed within the first 10 minutes. I love that move.
And the mood shift too, right? Like it would be very straightforward, very Ocean's 11 with John Hamm in front of the team. Like, oh, this like group of commandos are going to have to fight a vampire eventually. Even if you know it's about vampires, like you could get caught up in it. And then and it's John Hamm. Like, we're not going to kill John Hamm.
No, and you think the whole season's going to be about that. That's going to be the plot of the whole season is them trying to get off the island. No,
and I say
it's
John
all
Hamm
in one night.
It could be Viola Davis or Scarlett Johansson or something too, right? My point is, big star. It could be a female lead if you wanted it to be, but
totally.
Yeah, Yeah, big star is the point. Big surprise when they get torn in half. And that's, I want
big
like
star to just murder.
decapitation and like
Mhm.
Armand with his head over the open hole, you know,
Mhm.
as he like stares bloody at the screen. Then
Oh,
I have
gremlin.
a very particular set of skills honed over half a millennia.
Yeah.
I will find you and I will kill you.
And then I'll be weird about it the whole time.
I'm gonna wear these giant ski goggles
Mhm.
while I do it too.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put parts of you in a blender. Don't even worry.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What is your pitch then, Ashley, for a next Immortal Universe series?
So talking about like the ancients. I would want to start with Marius because we're going to get a good dose of Marius in the Vampire Lestat. So we've already got that character established. We probably want to know more about him. We're probably only getting a little bit of information. We're probably not getting a whole lot about him yet. So I
Yeah.
would start with Marius, and I would basically, Blood and Gold is your book for this. It's the guide for this, but it's not set up that way. So it's not set up. He's not talking to Thorn. That's not the setup for it. Instead, he's talking to someone unknown. We don't see who it is. We don't know who he's talking to, who he's telling this story to. Um, and so I envision like 6 to 8 episodes. I ended up with 8. Um, and basically it's him telling his story to this other character. We don't know who it is. We don't know who it is yet. So we get the origin story first episode. We maybe see him meet Pandora for the first time and see him kind of interact with Pandora's family. We see, like the whole setup, his whole life as he lived it at that time. Episode 2, capture and transformation. Okay, so then we go with episode 2, capture, transformation, and then even getting into the ending.
Bastard Mayel.
Yeah, what a dick. And then you get to him leaving to go find Akasha and Inkle, and maybe even finding them at the end of that second episode.
Oh, holy moly. Okay.
Okay. Then we get to Fall of Rome. Shit hits the fan. Him finding Pandora again. Then episode 4 is Life with Pandora and Those Who Must Be Kept. So we see like those interactions. We see a lot of him dealing with them in that episode. We see her dealing with them in that episode. We see that conflict building with them. We get a real taste of what that's all like. Okay, so that's episode 4. Episode
Like
5.
probably episode 4 is our first entry to like devil worshipping Christian vampires too, right? Like
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's where you
Yeah.
can meet Santino shows up at some point, I
Oh,
think.
fucking Santino.
Right,
Yes.
absolutely. Um, then we get to episode 5, leaving Pandora, heading to Italy, setting up life there. We can meet Mael. We see Mael again in Avicus. We can deal with Eudoxia there if we want to include that part of the story. That'd kind of be like that section there. That's episode 5. And then episode 6 is
Okay, wait. I was gonna say, let me back you up there because that's what you do, Ashley. You have the Christians cause a problem with Pandora and cause Pandora to go off on her own. Then you have an episode with Mael and Vicus where the Christians attack Mael and Marius has to put him back together.
We get that. That's a great scene to make sure we include.
And but also like makes it clear Marius knows better than to leave these fucking loonies off on their own, and yet he just continues to do it. Like it's shame on me at this point, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you bring in Eudoxia, I think maybe in the next episode, like he's almost got a way out. But no, wait, actually it turns out she's not gonna be good for me either.
Yeah. Turns out, no, that's not the gal for us, fellas. Yeah. So then we find Armand. We meet Armand. We're in Florence at this point. This is where we could get some of the Botticelli action. His life with his house full of boys and Bianca. we meet Bianca here too.
Yeah.
Um, and it's kind of, like the introductions of that jealousy and conflict with him and Armand, with Bianca, blah 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 blah, and just kind of like a whole episode about how cool that life is that they're living there, for the most part, and how happy everybody is. So that really in episode 7, we can ruin that horribly. Have the attack on the house, have Armand's transformation, have, their all of that happening there. And then the last episode would be losing Bianca and Pandora again, and kind of like the tail end of that section. We don't go any further in the story because we discover that he's talking with Lestat, and it's when
Mm.
Lestat has come to meet Marius.
So this is the late 17. Well,
Yeah.
I guess in the show it's going to be the late 1800s.
Yeah.
Or,
So we're
mid
not
1800s.
we're not in the modern time in this telling at all. It is like a bait and switch. This is his story to Lestat.
I love that idea so much. I think it would probably be hard to maintain across a whole season, but I do love the idea if you could at least hold that, even if you could only hold it like 4 episodes, right? Until he meets the mother or something.
You can reveal it, but I also don't think like we don't really flash back to him in this storytelling mode. Like it's the setup and then it's the story. Like we're not flashing back and forth to him like, him actually telling the story. The story's being told throughout the season.
Let me just say, I would suggest that you have the end of season 1 be a cliffhanger where you we don't meet Pandora again after she goes off. It's sort of like, I mean, we have Pandora until what, episode 6 or episode 7, maybe the beginning, and then she's gone. But the fall all happens in episode 8. So like Armand is taken away, and we know that he's not dead, but we know that he's been dragged away by our enemies. Marius is burned and lost and doesn't know how he's going to survive exactly until he can get back to the mother and father. And then it's in episode 8 where he decides to bring Bianca into his confidence, and he begins his healing journey. And it's like, where are you going to go? And and so that's where you leave season 1, with the promise that you're going to have to go on. But man, that has so much potential, because then you could, even if you did 2 seasons where effectively he's just telling Lestat his story, you could turn that around then in season 3 and play that same game again, where okay, now it's Maharet or whatever telling the story.
Absolutely.
But who is she talking to? You don't know until
we don't know
the end of season 1. Yeah. But it's Jesse. She's been talking to Jesse this whole time, or whatever. Ashley, I love that. I love that so much. I want these shows now.
I know. I just wanted to start with I know he's not the most ancient of our ancients, but I would like to start with Marius because hopefully we're already gonna give a shit about him, so it's a great place to start a new series, a great way to kick it off. People are already gonna be interested. People who haven't read the books are already gonna be interested in Marius, so I think it's a good place to kind of start. And then within Marius, we meet so many other of the ancients that's how you spin off those stories.
Well, and he could even give you, like, it's not exactly backdoor pilots, right? But you could have an episode that is mostly the story of the elder god to Marius, about the mother and father and where this all started and how they came about, and or the ancient in Egypt tells him that story or whatever, right? Or he gets it through Akasha's mind, and so you could give us that glimpse into the very ancient thing. But since we're going to you said it already, since we're going to meet Marius in season 3 with the vampire Lestat, and we're going to have some connection to him, that is the segue into the older ones. And then once you know a little of Pandora's story, you could tell a whole story about her.
You tell that. Yep.
Center her.
Then you go, yep, absolutely. Then you do Pandora. Then you do, whatever.
Yeah, all of them. I mean, honestly, all of them. Okay. Um, so your leads for this then would be season 1. Your leads would be uh, Marius and Pandora for sure.
For sure. Armand plays a big part as well. So you'd have, I mean, probably starting around mid-season, not quite mid-season, you'd have Armand for the last probably 3 episodes.
Yeah, so it would be like Marius, and then you'd probably have 3 or 4 that are effectively each supporting, but they only get a handful of episodes each. So it's like
Right.
Pandora's a supporting, Armand's a supporting, Bianca's a supporting because she's in there probably for 3 episodes or so.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Akasha might be a supporting, and Inkle
Absolutely.
maybe even.
Would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, would be definitely, you know?
Um,
And then, like, if you couldn't get Sam for a lot of it, you only have Sam for a little bit, then that's why you kind of keep that secret until the end.
and you could even shoot him. You could literally shoot him not on set with
Yeah,
any of the rest of them. Shoot him
absolutely.
on a green screen
Yeah,
and just drop him into the room that you've built. You know,
that you've
yeah,
built.
like
Yeah.
you can make that really easy for yourself. Okay, I like that so much. If you go, would you rather them have where they try to wrap Marius's whole book in 8 episodes or so? And then go on in season 2 and do some of that same again, but fleshed out further through Pandora, let's say. Or would you rather have them do 2 full seasons of Marius and maybe or maybe not we get other vampires afterwards?
I try not to be too greedy. So in my brain, it's like we're gonna see a lot of the story of Marius and Lestat. What happens to Marius after he meets Lestat? We're gonna see a lot of that in season 3.
Very good point.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
already have some of that story. So I don't necessarily think we have to retell all of that.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, I think 8 episodes of Vampire, we're doing pretty good for ourselves.
I mean, genuinely, since they only gave us 6 for Talamasca, and I only really asked for 6 for season 1 of Night Island, I
Yeah.
think you're right. If we could get 8 for Marius, I think that would be pretty solid.
Yeah.
So I want to pitch a little runner-up here, and I
Okay.
don't have a full pitch written for this. I don't know if maybe you've got some other ideas for places they could take this, but the other big one I think that is like fairly low-hanging fruit is a Tales of the Talamasca. So I literally just want, let's just open the files.
Yeah.
You want to talk about like a cold open? It's literally just you introduce us to one young agent who is just working their way through the files.
Yeah.
And
I'm just
every
reading.
episode they open up something and we go and get one good story, just a short story.
Yeah.
40
like
minutes
episodic,
or whatever.
Like single
Yeah.
episodes about each thing. Yeah, I like that.
Real cameos, maybe like once a season. Once a season, we get an episode that features a Marius or a Lestat or a Mayfair or something. But
Yeah.
like mostly, it's just stories outside the main story, right? Like we get some background to, what was his name? Not Baxter. What was Jason Schwartzman in Talamasca?
I can't think
What
of
was
it
his
right
name?
now.
Burton, right?
Burton.
Yeah, okay.
Burton. Yeah.
We get a Burton story. We get a Burton
Yeah.
episode, right? We get a Jasper episode, maybe set in Texas, right when he finally finds a vampire to turn him.
Right.
You know. Anyway, we get a killer story.
It's a great way too. You could get some of the history of the Mayfairs in there too. That's a great way to tell some of the stuff that's been left on the table.
Much cheaper, right? They did this with The Walking Dead already. They did like Tales of the Walking Dead, and it was mostly disconnected from the main series.
It's like that Stephen King book, that book of short stories based on The Stand. It's like they're adjacent and in the universe, but not necessarily part of any of Anne's books.
So my suggestion is you give them 7 episodes of this as a trial. And then if it's successful at all, you bump up the money and you give us like 15 or 20 a year.
Yeah.
Because you want to run Immortal Universe shit all year round, basically. Like give us like a month off in between or something. But we want 3 of these or maybe 4 a year running. And the way to do that is to have a cheap show. Like I say, a cheap show. This wouldn't be cheap because you'd be filming on location a lot or whatever, but it would be cheap casting wise.
Right.
Because you're basically running day players all
and you're
season long.
Yeah. And you're not having to fight to get oh, we got to schedule this so that we've got time with Sam. We've got to schedule this so we've got time with Jacob.
Yes. Sam and Jacob and Eric Bogosian and Asad, they want to go make movies in the 6 months out of the year that they're not filming
Yeah.
Interview and The Vampire Lestat. So, and good
So
on
this is
them, honestly. We want them to.
a great way to work with lesser known actors that are cheaper day rates, etc. You know, like they could save a lot of money with that.
Yeah, so that's my pitch is like bring us in a Tales of the Talamasca. You could run that, and that could be an AMC Plus exclusive, even if you wanted it to be. Like if you don't have the TV time, man. We mentioned it a little bit at the beginning. One of the things that this Warner Brothers Netflix thing makes me think, though, I feel like AMC has got to be on the chopping block soon as far as getting picked up by one of these larger streamers.
I mean, that's probably.
They've got a great library already built.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a great development team as far as like new original content. They're the only FX HBO level as far as like every now and again they throw one out that's a real banger and is like critically acclaimed as well as popular. They're the only one out there really that's not connected to one of the big streamers already, honestly.
Yeah,
and so I feel like Comcast is out there shopping. And Paramount's out there shopping. Let's just fucking cross our fingers. Paramount doesn't need AMC. That's the one that would be the real killer for me. I feel like this Netflix deal is positive. I feel like if Netflix is in a buying mood, you know, they might be interested in it, and they've got a great relationship already.
They've made a lot of money off of AMC shows. Netflix has made shitloads of money off Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, all of those Walking Dead shows. Yeah. Jesus Christ, they have made some money off AMC.
Yeah. Anyway, this happens in college football every like 5 or 10 years, and there's like a rash as the conferences all collapse on each other and
rearrange,
shuffle around,
restructure. You know,
I'm just saying
it doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be a bad change. It could be a good change.
Makes me nervous. I mean, I'm not as big a DC fan as I am a Marvel fan or a Star Wars fan, but I am my butt is so clenched tight right now over James Gunn and what they're going to let him do if this thing goes through. Will Netflix maintain what he's doing? Will they follow up and let him do his plan as it is currently? I hope so. I'm worried about what AMC is where AMC is gonna end up. I don't think they can stand alone in the landscape that we have, and there are only a handful of places they could go. So keep making good shit, Mark. Please, pretty please.
Not just for us, but for everyone.
For your own job, literally. Just
yes. Yeah. Feel free to take our ideas.
Yes, indeed. I didn't ask you. Do you have sort of a runner-up? Did you have another idea that you thought mulled about maybe pitching out?
No, not really. This was really kind of what I spent my time on thinking about.
The Ancients is such an obvious one, and it's one that would appeal specifically to you and me. I would love to see that story of the First Brood, you know, like the story of Akasha coming in and taking over Maharet's people. I think we're going to see, just as you said about Marius for season 3 of The Vampire Lestat, I think we're going to see a lot of Akasha's story in the main show when we do Queen of the Damned. But all of the follow-up after she's turned to a vampire, I think we're just going to get a lot of that glossed over. And so to do a whole season of the true First Brood storyline where Cayman and them are beginning to fight.
Yeah, like really flesh out those stories. And there's so many books you can pull from, so many different, like each season doesn't have to be based on a book, you know, you can pull.
No.
I open up 3 different books and pull Akasha's story, you know, like.
I didn't mention this in my discussion of it, but the one thing that I would for sure do at the end of that first season of Night Island is my employee, my lead manager employee of this White Lotus style resort, she'd absolutely finally put it all together, get caught by Armand and Daniel, and get turned. She'd be a vampire at the end of season 1. And look, he's going to be, listen, there's a lot of things going on. I've got places to be. I do need somebody to be able to manage
be able
this
to
place
run
when
this
I'm away.
place. Yeah. You
Yeah.
figured it out. I got to
Yeah.
kill you or keep you. I'd rather keep you.
Yeah.
Because you're good at your job.
Don't let any art thieves in here take my collection. Just snap their necks. I'll show you how.
Yeah. And here's my good strong blood for it.
Man, okay. The one other thing, as far as those little twists and turns go, for that Tales of the Talamasca show, you could do it like you were talking about, where you don't really know who who the person is that Marius is telling his tale to. You can do the same thing with the Tales of Talamasca, where you don't know who the agent is until she is revealed at the end of season 1, and it's a young Merrick Mayfair working her way up through the history of the Talamasca.
There's so many things you could do. Like using different shows to launch different characters is such a smart thing to do, because people get attached and then they give a shit when they come up again.
On that note, I do want to bring up a little bit of news that was mentioned in the group. Let me pull this up.
Oh man,
how funny was
article. How funny was that wrestling announcement tease?
Oh my God. Okay. That's a good, thank you for mentioning it, because I'd forgotten about it. So AMC posts this thing 1/15/26, and it's just a teal block with those numbers in it and the sound of a crowd. That's all that's on the ad. And our group and many other groups about
it was
Interview
all
and the Immortal
over
Universe,
the place.
and so a bunch of people in our group said, "Oh my God, are they going to drop the show in January?" I was like, "The show is not ready yet. It's absolutely not happening." But they might announce when the show is going to premiere for sure, and they might announce, maybe they drop a music video, or maybe they drop a whatever,
big fat trailer. Yeah. No, it was total nonstop action wrestling is coming to AMC.
TNA Wrestling is signed a deal. It's supposedly like a $30 million deal. I think that's per year. It's like a 5-year contract. It's pretty big for TNA. I'm not a big fan of them. I don't watch them. I don't watch AEW either. I see more AEW clips than I see TNA clips. But I don't even watch the WWE very often. My son does. But anyway, he was very amused by the fact that it was a wrestling announcement, and all of our vampire fans got very surprised and then very disappointed.
So excited, and then it was wrestling.
Okay, so the news that I was going to talk about, though, was from The Wrap. They had an article, Power Women's Summit 2025, from how Wicked reached beyond the fans to merge an album drops for Interview with the Vampire Season 3. Okay, a couple of, Tony Ann clipped a couple of screenshots from the article and shared. I can't give too much away, but we are definitely leaning into the Lestat as a rock star persona and having him show up as that in the real world, Granito said. So performances? Multiple? Hello there. Merch, album drops. We might have a fashion line. First of all, we already know they're going to have multiple guitars released in the build-up. They've dropped one so far, but they haven't shown the others. I mean, there's going to be a lot of really fun layers to this campaign that's built very specifically for the fans of that show. And the audience has broadened a lot since the show has gone up on Netflix, too. So we're seeing this as a big opportunity for the universe.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I do think they are fucking working on the Saturday Night Live idea. That Saturday Night Live hits so many things.
It would be so smart, y'all. It would be so smart.
Saturday Night Live does better on YouTube than they do on TV ratings, y'all. And they also do pretty good on TV ratings. But having him do this, I mean, it did it in a bad way back in the day when Garth Brooks and Chris Gaines showed up. But having a fictional character as the musical guest for an episode of Saturday Night Live would make all the news shows. They'd talk about it on Fox fucking News, y'all. They would talk about it on the
Fox
Today
News
Show.
Talking about our sexy gay vampires. Oh,
Australian actor Sam Reed put on leather pants and a fake scar to take the stage at Rockefeller Center this week. Anyway, I'm just saying, fucking make it happen. I don't. Lots of people getting very excited. Lots of people getting very excited about the performances thing, as in like, oh, live shows. Y'all, genuinely, Sam is an amazing performer. Sam is a very gifted singer. We've seen it. We've heard it. But a whole fucking concert is a lift, even for Taylor Swift, right? Like you dance and you sing and you perform, and it's all of those things at once, and it's full out. This man is not going to go on tour. Let's just rail it into what is realistic. Performances, one song, two songs, maybe in a few places. That's what we're going to see. That's what we're going to see.
But it's that even that promise of that is delicious.
Oh, that's so fucking cool, y'all. I mean, like, genuinely, what if the vampire Lestat sings on the Today Show? That is not a thing that is out of the realm of possibility, is what I'm telling you.
Except it's today. It's in the morning.
I don't know if you know this, but he is the vampire Lestat. He's immortal, more or less. Perhaps a very powerful fire or the heat of the sun could kill me. But then again, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Anyway, I'm just saying.
I am 6 feet tall after all, which was a very good height in my day.
Also, canonically in this universe, we've got window panels that can drop the shades and protect you. So he could be in the studio. He couldn't be out on the patio.
No. He's not out there waving to people and talking about the weather with Al Roker.
But man, I'm just, the possibilities that this news article dropped, very excited. Also, I didn't quote it there, but somebody, here we go. I found another one. To drill down on this point, Granito explained how the Anne Rice universe doesn't necessarily intersect with fans of the Walking Dead franchise. She continued, when we acquired the rights for that universe, we thought, oh, we do franchises really well. Look at The Walking Dead. It's been around for 15 years, has successful spinoffs. What we found was Anne Rice is not necessarily the same thing. It is a very colorful and layered universe with so many different types of shows, and I think we underestimated how different the audience layers were between them. Boom. Yes. They get it. I think they might get it, Ashley.
We need somebody to please get it and continue to get it so we can get more. We'd like to get it. Thank you.
We'd like to get it a little bit, pretty please. Okay. Couple of bits of business. First and foremost, if you are not already a patron, you are missing more of the show. When Ashley and I are done talking about this, we're going to go talk about Welcome to Derry. Welcome to Derry, the new show from HBO Max, which apparently someday may be Netflix.
I mean,
they did say, I don't know about you, Ashley, but I got an email in the middle of the night from Netflix that was like, welcome Warner Brothers to Netflix. Perhaps you've heard that we've acquired Warner Brothers. First of all, the deal's not done and nothing will change for quite a while until we pass all the regulatory stuff. They've also said that they're not going to change Warner Brothers Studios. They're not going to change HBO Max. It's going to run as its own separate thing. I think that's hooey long term. It'll be just like Disney and Hulu. Disney is going to be one app. You got to pay for Hulu extra if you want to get all the content. It'll be the same thing with Netflix.
Bundles.
Yes, there'll be a bundle and you could pay. You could just get HBO probably and HBO Max if you want to, or you can just get Netflix, or you can get both of them, and that'll be so much cheaper that we'll all be like, well, I guess I'll just pay $50 for both of them, won't I? And now we've just got cable.
Now we've got cable again.
I mean, I'm on the special deal with Disney, and I pay $37 a month for Disney, Hulu, and ESPN currently.
Yep. I'm on that same deal.
I pay $22 a month, I think, for Netflix. And my HBO is free currently, but that's because I got AT&T, who used to own them a few deals ago. But I mean, HBO Max, if you don't want ads, HBO Max is $20 too. So let's assume that they're going to offer a $35-ish thing, right? Where you get both of them probably. But I'll be paying $40 almost for HBO and Netflix. I'll be paying $40 for the Disney properties. And then also I've still got AMC Plus and PBS and
Don't pick at that scab, Joel. You're going to really make yourself mad.
Yeah, I'm mad already. Anyway, if you want to pay us some money, you can get more of this show. We're going to do Afterlife after this. We're talking about Welcome to Derry right now. We've talked about the It movies previously. We're going to talk about the miniseries when we're done with Welcome to Derry season 1.
I love it.
down the road, we're probably going to talk about what did we say we were going to do after this? There's another book that we're going to do the It book.
Oh,
But then we were talking about doing Castle Rock too,
oh
maybe
yeah,
the Castle Rock TV
yeah.
series.
It's fun.
So anyway, if you want to get more of us, all of it early and ad-free at articulatecoven.com/join. $2 or more a month gets you access to all of that. articulatecoven.com/events. Watch that space if you haven't already. We are currently beginning to, as you're listening to this, the folks who did the pre-sale have access to buy the actual 2026 Convergence event tickets. The patrons generally will get access after that. And then if there are any tickets left after that, then the public will get access. But again, articulatecoven.com/events. You'll have the info. You can go ahead and sign up for 2027 so that you can be first in line. Super excited about the details as all that gets locked down, y'all. 2026 is going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun. I can't believe it's happening already.
I know, right? It's all, I love it when a plan comes together.
We do.
Okay. Until the next time we talk to you, we are your hosts. I have been Joel.
I'm Ashley.
And we are the Articulate Coven. Thank you for sharing this time with the Articulate Coven. Support the show as either a free or paid member at articulatecoven.com/join. You can also find us on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Find more from the Coven with our sister show, Flan Again, covering the works of Mike Flanagan.